like the regret people feel when they get a puppy.
Aww.
And I was like, it's normal. Everybody goes through it. So.
The puppy blues, right?
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Okay, I put us live, but we'll get started in like 2 minutes. I'm also trying to change the background. The purple's pretty, but can you see that color? But
yep, I can see the purple and blue. So.
Okay, I wonder if I can change the color.
I've never used this before.
Ooh,
so.
Do we like that better?
I mean, I'm terribly indecisive, and I think either works. I feel like this is a little less aggressive. Like, here's my face.
People are joining. Yay! Okay, we're going to let people join for 2 more minutes, so stay on and we'll get started. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
Yay! I'm glad this is working. We've had technical difficulties past, but we figured it out.
Yay! I'm glad you had to figure that out, not me. I always tell my clients that go on my website and they're like, well, I can't find it. I'm like, I promise I'm much better at training dogs than I am with technology. So.
Awesome. Okay, those joining, we're going to play a game in a little bit. Oh, hi, Tracy. So glad you're joining us.
Hello.
Tracy, this is Karen. Tracy just commented on our thing. She's one of the other trainers we work with.
I see that now. Hi, Tracy. Nice to meet you.
So fun. Okay. Trying to find, we're going to play Guess That Breed for our game. So I'm just getting a picture of the dog so you can all guess it. But I have to hide. I have to make sure I hide the name.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away.
Okay. Awesome. Can you see the comments, Karen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. That makes that easier. Okay, we will get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm first going to introduce Karen. Oh, if my laptop doesn't freeze. Oh, no. I have some fun facts about Karen. Karen, do you want to just tell a little bit yourself?
Sure. So I'm Karen. I have been training dogs for 8 years now. I think might be almost 9. I live in the Great White North. I know where I live. I swear. I live in the Great North Woods of New Hampshire with my German Shepherd CJ and my husband. I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan, and we're living our dream up here in the mountains.
My sister married into Celtics fans. Her husband is the son of Danny Ainge.
Oh my God,
don't.
Don't.
So when you said that, I was like, wait, we love the Celtics too.
I have a really unhealthy obsession with them. But it's just, it's fun. It's a fun obsession. It's something good to do. But that's a really cool fact about you or your family.
Oh.
I don't think I can hear you.
Mute. Yep, my mute kept going in.
Oh, I got you now.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited to have Karen to help us answer some questions and to share some dog training tips. As you can tell with Karen's beautiful wall art, she loves dogs. And I know that all of you joining do too, because you have one or two. Please comment where you're tuning in from, what kind of breed of dog you have, the name of your dog. We love to know that information in the chat. And you can start putting any questions you have too. But we're going to start with Karen, just anything that's been on your mind lately that you've shared maybe with recent clients or something you've studied and learned. We'd love to hear anything you have to share with us today.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing I tell all of my clients is actually what my first dog trainer told me. Yes, I had a dog trainer first. We all have to start somewhere. And the first and best thing I learned was remember to breathe. It sounds silly. It sounds too simple. But if we're going or just holding our breath, our dog is going to pick up on that and they can respond differently. So breathe, have fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. It can be stressful, of course, but remember to breathe. That's my best advice for everyone. And then I have started studying a little bit of nutrition. That's a whole new world. But I think it's important to be well-rounded in what we're providing for everyone. So that's fun. And then just enjoy your dog.
Tell us about your dog.
Oh, my dog, CJ. He's actually here. CJ, come here. Up. This is CJ, right up here. So he is 8 years old. He is a German Shepherd, and he is the reason I am here. We got him, and normal puppy, everything's going great until it wasn't, and then he started developing some reactivity and some aggressive behaviors, and we used to move every 2 years, so it was very difficult to foster a relationship with one trainer. So I was like, you know what? I can learn this, I think. And 8 years later, here we are. We're doing it together and learning as we go, but that's the way it should be.
We love that. Thank you. CJ looks like a sweetheart.
He is. He's a good boy.
Dogs are the best. Do we have any questions from the viewers? And if not, Tracy wants to know some resources about nutrition.
Sure.
And maybe we'll have you post about this in community too, so people can access it.
So again, I've just started diving into the world of dog nutrition, so I am not well versed in it yet, but it's really very fascinating to learn about it. And if I can impart one word of wisdom, is that we're doing our dogs a disservice by only feeding them kibble. I feed my dog kibble. I'm not saying you have to go out and do raw or anything like that, but supplementing with some regular human food, carrots, all that hamburger, all that good stuff, and getting some whole food nutrition into our dog's life is going to be very helpful. That's what I'm taking away so far.
I love that. Pupford has some exciting news coming in the next few weeks regarding nutrition, so everybody can look forward to that. And it kind of goes along with what you were talking about.
We love to hear that, or I love to hear that. I think that's fantastic. I can't wait.
Great. Those joining, please comment where you're tuning in from and the name and breed of your dog and any training questions you have. I'm also going to just look through questions people have posted recently, and maybe we can talk about that, and then they can come back and watch it later.
Absolutely.
I know there's time zones all over the nation and the world. Ooh, tips for teaching a dog to share.
Oh, okay. So this one comes up a lot. And I like to try and give human examples when I'm talking to my clients, because sometimes it's just easier to think about what we would do as humans. And what I like to say is, if you put two toddlers in a sandbox and they were just throwing sand at each other or stealing each other's toys, you wouldn't just stand there and let them continue doing that. So we have to kind of treat our dogs like those kids in the sandbox, and we have to step in from time to time and go, no, this is yours. This is Sally's. We're not stealing. So kind of being a mediator is the best way to go about it. And eventually our dogs tend to pick up on that. They don't always, but we have to step in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one. I think I need to clear up my laptop because it's so small. Oh, Amber just commented. Amber is another one of our trainers that we work with. This is so fun. This is a big trainer party.
Yeah.
Anyone who joins is super lucky. They have all these resources. I don't see this right now, but people talk about how their dog can be good at doing one thing, but then all of a sudden they turn 6 months or a different age and it changes, like they start to become aggressive. Do you know why that happens and going through different phases, and how do you deal with those types of changes? Like you think they're trained, but then they're not.
That goes back to the first one, breathe, remember to breathe. So I always tell people, especially my puppy clients, that around 6 to 8 months, your sweet, adorable puppy is going to turn into a tiny teenager and is going to be like, I no longer need to listen to you. I know more than you. So when that happens, it is important to breathe, but also take some steps back and go back to those fundamentals and making it as easy as possible for your dog. And that may mean working on sits, working on downs, and just going back to the basics and working in a quiet environment too. If you take your tiny teenager puppy out to a busy park on a Saturday and you only bring kibble, they're not going to listen to you. But it's normal and natural for our dogs to go through these phases where they suddenly go, I don't need to listen anymore. And it's just about taking it back to the basics. Oh no, I don't think I can hear you.
Cool.
Okay.
It's okay. I was muted. I just found this feature where I can show someone's question on the screen so we can answer that question. Can you see that, Karen?
It kind of cuts off. Hang on. Would it be better?
Oh, yeah, it does cut off. So I guess I can just read it too. So they have and bought carrots and they smoked pieces of the Dyson and the puppy. Oh, maybe this is just a tip. Would it be better if I ran the blender and blew it up and made a juice? And then, hold on, sorry, it just.
No, so I think from this question, Alan, is that the best idea, again, and I'm not a professional dog nutritionist yet, but the best thing to do is keep the food in its most natural form. So instead of going through juicing it or anything like that, giving it to them raw, you could certainly like boil a carrot and give it to them that way once it cools down. But the best thing is to just keep it in its natural state. As far as how many you should give a day, that would kind of depend on a lot of factors, because we don't want to overfeed things, because the vitamins and minerals and nutrition or all the fun stuff that's in a carrot, if we're giving them too much of it, it can actually do the reverse of what we want. But with anything I'm giving to my dog for the first time, I like to start super slow, give them 1 carrot. And I don't know if you're talking big carrots or little baby carrots, but we'll go with baby carrots for now because that's what I have in my fridge. I'd give him 1 carrot at breakfast, 1 at dinner, and do that for a week or 2. Make sure it's okay for his belly and his body appreciates it. And then I could increase as I go. I hope that
sounds smart to me. Emily Curry, our frequent joiner, we love to have her join us, asks, any suggestions with fear barking at a particular person, especially in the crate when no one's home? Tossing treats are not an option as it make it worse. He'll start barking as soon as the person wakes up or hears him. He was given treats when other people he's comfortable with in the same room with other person. Hope this makes sense. So I think just different people make the dog react a certain way.
And this is when the dog is in the crate is what it's, especially in the crate. Okay. So a lot of things are going on there. I would say, and again, without having a full history, without really knowing exactly all the ins and outs that you have tried, my first initial thing is the treats aren't necessarily high value enough. And on top of that, when we start to toss treats at a dog to help them kind of make a better connection, we tend to throw them like right at the dog. And that can be kind of scary because now the scary person's throwing things at me. But so instead, if we kind of throw it like past the dog and kind of like underhanded. I don't know if you can see that. That can make it a little less scary. Especially in the crate also leads me to believe it's kind of a barrier frustration issue of, hey, I'm scared. I can't get away. My only option is to verbalize how much I dislike this. You could try giving your dog something to do in the crate while the person comes in, like give them one of the bully sticks that Pupford has. CJ loves those. I make use of them a lot. Give them a bully stick, something to focus on, and make that another connection that way. But without a full history, it's a little hard to say for sure that if you've tried it or not. So I hope that helps. If it doesn't, ask some more. Let me know some more.
I remember in 8th or 9th grade in my biology class, we watched a movie called The Biology of Dogs, and I think it's free online if anyone wants to look it up. And I remember they talked about when approaching a dog, never put your hand on top of its head because it freaks them out, but always under. And so, like, I'm sure the same goes for treats. Like, you don't want to freak the dog out. And I don't know. And I've also heard dogs like to jump because their eye level's lower than yours and they want to try to get eye level with you.
Yeah. When dogs are jumping, they're just trying to say hi. They're trying to get to see us and get to know us. So I don't take that personally, but you're absolutely right. We don't want to reach over a dog's head. That's very assertive behavior in the dog world. It's kind of rude. So going underneath is better. For somebody approaching the dog, I would certainly also tell them not to even look at the dog. And it's better to angle your body like away from the dog. Because when we're standing straight on, again, we're conveying a lot of stuff with our body to our dog. We're going, don't come any closer. And we're kind of being not aggressive, but we're being a little bit more, hey, I'm in charge. So angling your body, not looking at them, things like that can also make the interaction go well. The dog should never be forced into the situation. If they're really not liking it, either have the person leave or put the dog in another room, and you can work on it another time.
So from the little I've learned about dogs and dog training, if a dog jumps up on you, I've heard just to turn around so it doesn't keep jumping on you. Is it ever good to like bend down and get to their level, or will they still try to keep jumping?
So I don't recommend bending down because only from a safety point of view. And I can speak from personal experience here. My dog CJ, he went to jump up. I went to bend down. And I chipped a tooth on my dog. So I don't recommend that for that reason.
Oh no.
I personally don't recommend just turning your back, because a lot of times what can happen is your dog will just continue to scratch your back. So I like to just walk through them gently. I'm not saying like knee them or anything like that. Please don't do that. But if you just keep moving, your dog is going to naturally put their paws on the ground to follow after you. And once all 4 paws are on the ground, then you can say hi. And that's just a way to help with the jumping. There's other ways to help with it, but that's what I recommend to start. I'm just reading a comment from Emily.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, it happens when you're home with your brother. Hopefully this gives more. Yeah. Okay, so this has been going on for a few months. Unfortunately, you've tried these things. You've tried covering and uncovering. That's a great thing to do as well. A covered kennel can be very helpful. So when it happens when you're not home, that certainly is also a factor, because you're probably your dog's person, and now my person's not here, and a stranger is coming in. So there's a lot of things that are happening. I would probably recommend, if possible, taking like a 2-week vacation for your dog. I know that sounds extreme, but just 2 weeks stopping having people come over, because when our dog is introduced to a stressful event, say a person comes over on Monday, the cortisol from that stress stays in your dog for 3 days after the event. So it will stay in your dog's body Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But you have a dog or you have a stranger come over Monday, you've got all that cortisol in their system till Thursday. You have a stranger come over Tuesday, well, now it's another 3 days. So now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if our dog, especially if a dog has come from an abuse situation, they have a lot of stress. Then they have the stress of flying. Then they have the stress of coming to a new home. And we never give our dog a chance to get rid of that stress. So by giving them a vacation, a little 2-week brain break where they don't have to meet anybody, they don't have to go out and walk past scary things, it helps them get rid of that cortisol in their system. And it just helps them come down and breathe. If that doesn't help, it may be worth having a conversation with your vet as far as some anxiety meds or things like that. I can't recommend or even really talk about meds because I'm not a vet. But I always tell people give your dog at least a 2-week break and let them kind of relax a bit.
That's good to remember breaks just in general. Whenever we have photo shoots here with different dogs and we're trying to get the dog to sit still or do something and it's just not working, we just take the dog outside, play some fetch, and then try it again. Like, get their mind off of it, which is like the same for all of us too. There was a question I came up on and said they're wanting their dog to meet their partner, but it would be late at night. They said, should they wait until morning for their dog to meet a new person? Or like she'll be in her crate and recognize a new person, so I don't know if it's best to introduce them at night or in the morning. Like, will it freak the dog out to have a new person there without meeting them?
That's kind of hard again. So the problem with dog training is it's so specific from dog to dog that it makes it really hard to answer. Because I would want to say, well, how is your dog meeting new people normally? How is it when people come into the home? Things like that. Typically, they say dogs see better at night. Again, I'm not a vet, so I don't understand the cones and rods and all that stuff. If your dog has been in the kennel all day and hasn't had a lot of chance to get energy out, it might be a little bit more stressful for them. But without knowing more about this person's dog, I would say it's probably fine. Make sure there's lights on and there's yummy treats involved, but I would think it would be okay.
Good to know. I just jotted a few of those ideas for that person who asked that question.
Thank you.
We'll do one more and then we'll hurry and play a game.
Yay.
We'll try to keep these lives shorter so people can go back and not be overwhelmed by like a 40-minute video. There's always comments about chewing on the floor, chewing on the wall, getting anxiety, and just biting everywhere and everything. I know there's like some go-tos, but what have you found helpful?
So, dogs love to chew on things. They explore the world with their mouths. So, giving them plenty of outlets to chew on appropriate things. However, what I typically see when I start to tell people that, or people tell me about their lives at home with their dogs, is that dog toys are just out all the time, everywhere, in every room of the house, and you're tripping over them all the time. Well, if your dog's toys are out all the time, then, that baseboard or that shoe or the sofa, that's going to look way more entertaining. So I recommend rotating toys. So CJ gets 2 to 3 toys a day. And then at night, I pick those up. And in the morning, I'll put 2 to 3 different toys down at night, or excuse me, in the next day. So that way it's always new and exciting. You don't have to go out and buy new toys all the time either, because your dog hasn't seen that one in like a week. So, hey, that's fantastic. That's great. So rotating toys can be very helpful as well. If you can't rotate toys, you can't be home to make sure your dog isn't chewing on anything. Management manage the behavior, put your dog in a kennel so they can't, get a dog walker or pet sitter to come in. But those are my go-tos in the beginning: management and rotate toys.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll see if anyone else leaves comments as we're finishing up. But I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to guess the breed of this dog. Okay. People, you can comment your guesses.
I will comment my guess of adorable.
I'm going to find some fun facts real fast to tell you about this dog. They're boisterous, cheerful, affectionate, active. They're good with other dogs, better with older children. They're groomed, obviously, like most dogs, just grooming. Let's see what else. Let's see if people are guessing. Brussels Griffin, that's incorrect. I've never heard of that dog either, though. This dog is on the verge of extinction.
Oh.
Tons of energy, life expectancy around 12 years.
I definitely want to brush his little hair.
Yeah, the original purpose to own one has now become illegal or extinct. Interesting. Well, this is just from Google, so you can't quote me on any of this. They're related to the bloodhound. They have webbed feet. Wait, I want to find a picture of the webbed feet to show you all.
Right? Going down the Google rabbit hole now.
Seriously. See what other people have guessed. Sorry, we have our fulfillment loud. A Skye Terrier.
Those are some good guesses, though.
Where are the other people watching to guess? I want guesses too.
Technology, I tell ya. Oh, I think you're muted.
I found a picture of the webbed feet, but yes. Emily got it. It is an otter hound. Well done, yay, Emily. I wonder how she knows this. If I can try to share my screen, I'll show the webbed feet. It's interesting on pause because they're so close together. I think people can see my screen.
I can see it, so yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Just a little bit of skin there. Cool. Well, there's the otter hound. Nice job, Emily.
Yes, good job.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. Karen, thanks so much. Everybody send well wishes to Karen. She's getting shoulder surgery and is going to be out for 6 weeks. So we all are sending her get well wishes and hope it goes smoothly.
Thank you so much. And this was so fun. I hope I was able to help, and I'm here if anybody needs any more help.
Yes, you can message her in our community. You can just say @Karen, or just if you have any questions, she's sifting through the community to help answer your questions. So thank you, everybody. Karen, good luck. Thank you again, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks so much.